Go! Jesus, frozen solid, man. Carl. Jesus. Say something. Hey. Carl. This got a freaking head blaster, man. I never thought that I'd see this guy again.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael?
Oh, hey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Doomgoryum Report number 60.
60.
Brought to you by the guys from Doomgoryum's Horror Emporium.
Yes.
Happy Wax.
Axemaster.
And underneath the gas mask,
A legend.
a myth in some people's minds,
Yes.
if you're Chappie Quick. Who, Chappie Quick, by the way, is still out fighting slugs
Yes.
in the rainforests.
Of
Because he
Peru.
didn't know, because he hadn't seen the Fog, the original. And this is
Which is unbelievable in itself.
Carl Headblaster.
Yes. Sporting the gas mask.
Got the mask on. And tonight's this is episode 60 of Doomgoryum's report. I mean, can you
That's
believe
awesome. 60
So,
and
and we figured we'd do a real classic, though it's been probably been reviewed a million times, and you've probably seen it 100 times. But it is the John Carpenter. This has been the John Carpenter sort of
trilogy of horror.
and we're
Doomgoryum
doing
style?
none other than Halloween, the one that put him on the map.
Yep.
We never done it before, so let's get down to the particulars. Of course, you got Mr. Carpenter as the director. In the cast, you got Donald Pleasance again.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Another Donald Pleasance flicks.
Yep.
As Dr. Sam Loomis.
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yes.
who he worked with on another film that we just did a while ago.
Yep. This is her first film.
Yeah, this is her first film. As Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Nancy Keys, actually, I didn't mention her in The Fog, but she was in a lot of John Carpenter's flicks under the name Nancy Loomis.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
As Annie Brackett. P.J. Souls as Linda Vander Clock. Charles Cyphers as Sheriff Lee Brackett. Kyle Richards as Lindsay Wallace. Brian Andrews as Tommy Doyle. And Tony Moran as Michael Myers.
Yes.
Okay.
The Shape.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not even listed as Mike Myers in this. He's listed as The Shape.
Come on out.
If you look at the credits of the movie, they don't even list him as Mike Myers. He's just called The Shape.
Yeah.
The Shape. The Shape.
So there you go.
So there you go. Well, this is John Carpenter's first full feature-length film. And, geez, what a way to start your career off.
Yeah.
Holy shit. One of the greatest slasher flicks of all time.
And and again, to say what you to coin what you say about the music, I mean, obviously one of the greatest horror horror themes is instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
If
So,
yeah,
By
if
far
there's,
the most recognizable,
I would think so.
for sure.
And
Mhm.
it would have to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this movie's a classic.
This
How
was-
many times have you seen this movie?
it was actually probably the first movie I've ever seen that was a scary horror movie. It was probably like one of my first horror movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think
And it
for
just
most of us it
scared
was.
the crap out of me.
Yeah. That or Dawn of the Dead were one of the first ones that I saw, but this one was really stuck with you, and it hasn't really tarnished over time either. You know what I mean?
No.
You put it against a lot of the movies today, and I mean Halloween still kicks their ass. Well, I mean it's the blueprint for
Yeah.
a lot of the slasher flicks you see nowadays. They steal scenes, or this style's been done a bazillion times. So, I mean, you know, this is a real, and Deborah Hill too. We keep talking John Carpenter, but Deborah Hill was his partner, and they did The Fog and a couple other movies together too. And, you know, the two of them together really seemed to hit the nail on the head when it came to making awesome
Yeah.
horror flicks. You know
Dynamic,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and this one is, I mean, well, it's a classic. I mean, it's been around forever, and
You got to remember too, at the time it came out was like you know, the thought of a young kid.
yeah,
That, like, it doesn't seem like much now when you watch the old one, like the 1978.
Yep.
This film's from 1978, by the way. I didn't say that because there is a remake, but it's weird when you see, like, at that time in 1978, to see a kid that would kill. That was
Yeah.
like, again, it was one of those huge things. It was like, oh my God, taboo. So I think they kind of, you know, that was what sort of set it apart, and then the whole idea that Michael Myers is this evil infused, you know,
Yep.
unstoppable killing machine.
yep,
It was fresh at the time, so it's kind of, it's tired now, but it was definitely, it was very easy to reproduce. That's why it's so copied. But I mean, at the time, I mean, it was great. You know,
Yep.
it was very cool.
Actually, a fun fact that I learned about, correct me if I'm wrong, but Michael Myers' mask was actually a mold of William Shatner.
yes, it was.
Unlike this gas mask.
Yes.
But very creepy, indeed.
Yeah, it was actually. So that was pretty cool that you remember that.
Was
I
absolutely.
forgot all about that until
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Good for you, Carl.
Beam me up.
Oh, thank you.
Beam me up, Carl.
Yes.
Beam me up. So let's hop to the ratings section of this review on this classic flick.
I have to give it a 10. I mean, AMC plays the shit out of this movie, and it pisses me off every Halloween because they just kill it. And so you kind of get sick of it, but I mean, you have to appreciate it, and you have to understand that it is one of the all-time greatest horror movies ever made. And yeah, you have to give it a 10 because really, I mean, how many movies have copycatted this film over the years? It's almost ridiculous. And the
Jamie Lee was so beautiful.
yeah, she was, and the soundtrack too. Like
Yeah.
really, I mean, everyone knows that. You could play it for little kids, and they'd probably recognize it. So I mean, it's just one of those movies that just it will last forever. So I mean, how can you not give it a 10?
Another sign of bad parenting if kids know what that sound is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would have to give it a 10 on that because it's definitely, if Halloween is such a scary and fun scary time.
Yep.
And here's definitely a movie that you have to watch it. You know, on Halloween night you got to watch it, and because it sort of puts that fun creepiness into that whole part of the season. So 10 for me.
If I could give it a 11, I would.
Well, you're Carl Godblaster, man. You can do whatever you want.
I will give it 11 William Shatner faces.
Yes.
Out of 11.
Halloween, the night he came home.
It was
go.
it was
There you go.
amazing, and it was one of those rare movies that was actually redone by Rob Zombie, in fact, and actually did not a too bad of a job. But
Nope.
since we're not rating that, I'll leave that till next time. But yeah, I thought it was wonderful. It's a classic movie by a great director, and what an amazing first movie for a director.
Yeah.
And-
Low budget,
Yeah.
just shot up, you know, almost guerrilla style shooting.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an all-time.
Yes.
top
Thank you,
five.
William Shatner,
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
being so creepy.
Yes.
And speaking about shooting gorillas, we've got a little problem that we've got to take care of right now. Because down here in the dungeon, two things never stop: reviews and fighting evil.
Yes.
We've got some evil fighting to do. We got to figure out who it was that froze Carl Headblaster in that drift device we found him in over 4 weeks ago now. So, we're going to leave you with that. Stay tuned for some more Doomgoryum Report. Dead Walk Talk doesn't come on the air till February,
Yep.
when those lazy actors are done their little mid-season break. But we'll be here with
Yep.
some more interesting stuff. So stay tuned, stay scared, and above all, fight evil, kids.
Well said.
Was the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.